Good morning, YouTube. This is Gary, one of the part-time sawyers. We're at Kinder Farm Park getting ready to cut some logs. I'm standing here in front of Wayne's new Rivian, which is a really nice truck.
It's my wife's.
Oh, his wife's. We're going to cut some logs. I don't know what we're cutting today. Maybe some fence boards or tomato steaks, one or the other. We'll see you at the sawmill.
Well, Chief, looks like you're sawing today. That's good.
What are we going to do with this first one?
1x8. I don't know. Yeah, fence boards, except I need 6 that are 8 inches wide for the guys at this green barn or something. 10 volts. This thing should be way more than 10 volts, but let's see what happens here. According to John Fluke, oh, it says 12 volts, which isn't bad. 12.3. I'm happy with 12.3. And this only reads 10. So that means it's made in China. So let me do this. Let me fire this guy up. Put this on DC amps. DC amps. We'll put this on here and see what we got. All right, I'm sure as you've seen from the intro, Gary's a sawyer today. And the first log he's got is this big red oak log to cut. It's actually a nice looking log. It's been down for a while. The outer part of it, the bark is kind of a little bit tired, but the inner part of it, the core wood, looks really, really nice. And what I did when we were getting going was we're checking the battery charging system on the Minneapolis Moline. I'm not entirely convinced it was working right. I'm still not quite. I'd like to see 14 volts. But it gets up to 13.5. I'm not sure there's adjustment anywhere on that, but it had some problems starting last week. And this week, it started up okay, but not quite the way I wanted it to. But we'll see. But anyway, you've got Gary here. He's our sawyer. And we've got Matt and Alan doing some log turning here. So what Gary's doing now is he's going to cut an 8-inch thick cant. Remember, a cant's a big block of wood. And he's going to make it 8 inches thick because we're trying to cut some boards to use to repair one of the barns on this facility here. And the guys need some lumber. So he said, yeah, we can certainly make some 1x8s. So that's what he's doing. All right, so John, where are you guys from?
We're from Springfield, Virginia.
I know where that is. My bro used to live down there.
Yeah, just
He moved out to West Virginia.
Yeah, just outside the Beltway around Washington, D.C.
Very good. And we're giving you guys are getting some cherry slabs, and what else are you getting?
Whatever you're cutting right now.
We're cutting poplar. I think it's poplar.
We might take a little bit of that.
Poplar, red oak, yeah. So do you know what Ipe wood is?
Yes.
We have some Ipe, which I brought here, which the guys hate. I love it.
Well, Ipe's awful tough on your blades.
But they're carbide today, so...
Carbide is tougher than Ipe.
Carbide is tougher than Ipe. So do you guys want a couple pieces of that?
What is it?
They're Ipe. Ipe, it's Brazilian hardwood. It is so hard, it sinks in water. It doesn't float.
And the color is unique in that normally it's fairly dark.
It's very dark, and if you oil it, it's darker than.
Yeah.
It's as dark as walnut.
Yeah, it's as dark as walnut. It's not quite ebony, but it's pretty dark.
Yeah, I'll show you. We'll drag a couple of those guys for you because I've got our bridge at where I live. Though decking it, it's Ipe, and they replaced it. And I said, "What are you doing with all that wood? We're taking it to the dump." No, you're not. Here's $100. Give it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they delivered it to my house, and it's heavy though. It's hard.
It's hard.
I love it.
A lot of this wood that we're going to use will go into turning.
Okay.
Bowls and
yeah.
that kind of thing. It'll be a little while before we can use this.
Yeah.
But we'll use this for mostly bowls. Some of it may get milled to board.
So we can give you a couple of guys do turning here.
Yeah.
I don't have I've got a metal lathe, not a wood lathe. So I do metal turning, but some of the guys do turning here. But they use different pieces of wood. So if you want different stuff for turning, let us know.
Oh yeah.
Because the cherry, they want big, like Alan, we cut some branches, they're 8-inch, 10-inch branches off a cherry tree. And that's what he's looking for. Not big long ones though. You know what I mean? Just easy to work with on his lathe.
All this will be cut into bowl size.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Somewhere in the 11 to 9-inch
Very good
size. And
all right.
That's what most will be used for. And some of it, but it's going to have to dry a while.
Yep.
We'll may get milled down into board size. We do
all right.
that.
You've got a good bandsaw.
We've got a good bandsaw, and we've got a 15-inch thickness planer. We also have a drum sander for
You're all
the
set
final
up.
finish. Yeah, we're
set up.
pretty well equipped.
So how would you rip? How big's your bandsaw?
Our bandsaw is 14-inch.
And who makes it? Is it
It's a Rikon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 14 inches,
Yeah,
fairly
so
good.
I'm not a woodworker. I'm learning how to do it. I bought a Powermatic a couple years ago.
Good saw.
It does not rip as well as I expected it to. It takes forever to rip wood.
Well,
Even with like 3 teeth per inch, I bought a special blade for it. It's like it's all over the place.
drifts.
Is it because I don't know what I'm doing?
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, but no, it does happen. You know, but
Yeah.
blade tension is a big part of it, and you got to get used to that.
This does not drift.
No.
But I've spent.
What is the thickness on that blade?
5/6. The kerf is 5/16 of an inch. So
5/16.
every 5 logs I bring, I got 1 log of sawdust. And there's something loggers we use. We call it the Doyle scale. And if you bring a log to a sawmill, they figure how many board feet they're going to get out of it. The Doyle scale includes the kerf of the blade because 20% of it's sawdust.
Yeah.
And they assume you're cutting 1-inch blades. Well, you cut 5 boards, okay, and you got 1 inch of sawdust.
Yeah.
So we make a lot of sawdust. So that's why a modern saw, the band saws, the kerf is what, 50 thousandths maybe? It's not a lot, but they're slow compared to this. Most of the you see all these wood misers.
Yeah.
Horsepower cuts wood fast.
Yeah.
They don't have I got a 25 horsepower engine on it. You know, we run one at our local fairgrounds. It has Detroit diesel, a 471, 2-cycle supercharged engine for 160 horsepower. It'll scream. And it does scream. They call it Screaming Jimmy. It's what powered up the old buses and all the old loaders back when we were in the 60s. And it's a great for running a sawmill. So this engine's tired. Compression's low, oil pressure's low, but it runs.
You get that blade spinning, there's a lot of momentum in there.
So the engine's a Minneapolis Moline. It's called HEB. It's 605 cubic inch engine, 6 cylinders, 100 horsepower, compression 5.5 to 1. It's low. You know, I did a compression check the other day, like 60 pounds per cylinder. You know, it's not much, but it works. It works.
Gets the job done.
And the saw, they don't call it the blade, they call it the saw. The saw is 56-inch diameter. Okay, we've got a 48-inch and a 56. The 56 is better for the bigger logs.
Makes our 10-inch table saw.
Well, but when you think about it, you go from a 4-foot to a 56-inch, you just went into overdrive.
Yeah.
Because now that it's spinning faster, it takes more torque to spin at the same speed, which this does not have. Doesn't have the power. This doesn't do it. But we're not complaining.
How old is the saw?
We're not sure. It's a Frick Model Ott, so we think it was built in the 60s. There's a guy who knows about it, has the records on him, but it's not computerized.
Does it have replaceable teeth?
Yes. Yeah. So they call them bits. The teeth are bits, and they go into the shank, and there's different sizes depending upon what you're cutting, different kerfs. If you're doing frozen wood, softwood, hardwood, there's a lot to it. You know, what we learned last year is we had some problems. The lead of our saw was off. And if the lead of your saw isn't touching the log first, you use up twice as much horsepower. You see, because it's cutting it trying to cut it twice.
Yeah.
And it's getting hot and everything, and like we had all sorts of issues. But
How many bits are on the 56 inch?
52. How do I know that? We just changed them all. And we sharpen them. Oh, it's not, you know, with 2 or 3 guys, it's not bad. And everything here is done with volunteers, so it's not, you know, the worst part of your coming here today for you guys is driving around the Beltway. I mean, I used to work in Tyson's Corner, and it was miserable, you know, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get here somehow.
Yeah, you got the right attitude. Just jump in the car and drive, right? And you know, I always used to stay in the fast lane on the Beltway. Why is that? Well, they're driving between 0 and 85 or 90, right? But at least in the fast lane, they can only hit me from one side. If I'm in the middle lane, they get me from 2 sides. In the right lane, I got dump trucks behind me, and I got cars merging in. People have forgot they got to exit. So I just like the left-hand lane all the way. And so does somebody have I don't have my phone with me. I do have my phone with me. Is that it? How do I reach one of you guys? I'll send you a link to the video we do.
Okay.
Go ahead. So Wayno's a happy camper here. You probably can't hear me. 82 degrees at the most on the bearings. That's awesome. Battery voltage on the Minneapolis 13.6. About where it should be. I think we're doing well. If we have problems starting it, it's because the battery's quitting. So we'll find that out soon enough. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching another episode of Wayne's World Garage. I'm going to make this video into 2 different videos, part 1 and part 2. So the first video is what you just saw. second video is Gary sawing the bigger log. So he sawed some big logs, which is why he only plowed through 2 of these guys today. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Do me a favor, please subscribe, tell your buddies, tell your mother, tell your brother. Take care and have a great day.